Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
We are back to do another little video. So we've not done one for a couple of weeks because Steph has been laid up with a bad back, but hopefully she's recovered now. So I put on I still get used to this selfie stick thing. So we put a little request out on my videos the other week about questions that you may want to ask. So 3 of my pupils put loads of questions forward. So we are going to go through those now and hopefully answer what you've asked me. Some are directed at myself, some at Steph, some are pretty much both of us. Hope you enjoy it. Any comments, drop a comment down below. Any further questions, let us know. We're happy to answer. See you in a bit. So, first question is from Thomas, one of my pupils. So,
the first one is, what's the most common mistake new drivers make during their driving test and how can learners avoid it?
Right, I think overthinking things. So, what I'll say to you is, try to imagine that on the day of your test, I phoned you and said, look, I'm really sorry, I don't feel well. So, a good friend of mine is going to take you out for a drive. So let's do what you do. Whoops. Cool, look at that. So now, we're not going to dwell on that. We're going to leave that in. We're not going to dwell on that. We're going to think forwards. Think about that for your lessons and driving tests. If there's a mistake, we don't dwell on it. I'm going to leave it in, have a laugh at it at my expense. So yeah, I would say, you know, you're going to treat your driving test like a normal lesson. That is all it is. Don't overthink of it. And more importantly as well, is it's really muddy. If you think you've made a mistake, don't dwell, because what might have been a very, very minor error, which has not even been recorded, by dwelling on it and overthinking things, you could make something even more serious. So, you know, if you make a mistake, just carry on. Like me, I nearly fell over there, give you all a laugh, but I'm not dwelling on it. But boy, I'm looking out for mud in front of me now. So what's happening next is far more important.
Exactly. It's like what happened on my test, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
just carry on and move forward. And I think as well, one thing that one of the most common mistakes people make is that they treat their test as if they have to do a perfect drive, but you basically just have to drive how you drive normally.
And safely,
yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's the key thing. So just a quick one on Steph's test. She was about probably 3/4, let's get out of this mud. She was about 3/4 of the way through, and she had 3 roundabouts on the bounce. She had a left turn at a fairly minor roundabout, a right turn at a medium size, and then a straight ahead on a big one going on GA127. So on the second roundabout, Steph was turning right. She did what she should be doing, come around in the right hand lane, and somebody decided to undertake her on the left, which what Steph did is she steered the car just a little bit too much to the right and just clipped the roundabout with her back wheel, because she's avoided an accident. At the next show, she's carried on the next roundabout, straight onto the A127 onto a higher speed limit. Then she went down to the famous Dogs Trust roundabout, which is literally 2 or 3 minutes from the test centre. Carried on, got to the end of the test, and she passed. And the examiner said the way she dealt with that problem with the other driver was exactly what she would have done. Because had Steph not been using her mirrors correctly on changing direction, there would have been an accident. So, you know, Steph could have worried about it, dwelled on it, and made something even worse. So, carry on.
Carry on and think of the next thing that's happening. Instead of dwelling on it, because you can't change what's happened, and you never know. You might be overthinking it, and it might not be as big of an issue as you think it is.
Exactly.
Which it wasn't in my case.
No. So what's next?
Right. So, next one. In your experience, what's one piece of advice every learner should remember once they pass their test and start driving independently?
Remember all what you've learned. Again, this will come back to some further questions, is build up on what you've learned. one of the questions comes on later, involves sort of peer pressure, intimidation from other drivers.
Yeah.
I would say when you first pass your test, it's a great achievement, and we have got you to the best standard we can. But listen, I've been driving since I was 17. I'm 62 now, and I'm still learning. Every day is a learning day. The more miles you get under your belt, the more you're going to learn. So
Exactly.
I think, you know, when you reach the point of thinking you know it all, that's when you're in trouble. So yeah, Thomas, you know, when you first pass and you're out in your car, just take your time and don't let people put pressure on you.
Definitely.
And always remember, to everybody that's passed with me, and Steph will bear this out, and a few other people, even after you pass, I like to stay in contact with you all.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, if any time you need advice, you just drop me a message, I'm always there.
Yeah.
Hope that answers that one. So the next batch of questions is from Yasmin. She's done quite a lot. She put loads in there, so this is going to keep us busy. So thank you very much, Thomas, and thank you, Yasmin.
Thank you.
So,
First one from Yasmin is, what are the most common reasons people fail their driving test?
there's many. Well, I'd say the first one, which covers the whole thing really, is going before you're ready,
Yeah.
not being properly prepared.
Yeah.
But if you want me to break it down and give you a few examples, one, I would say mirrors, and particularly mirrors on changing direction, particularly when you're you know, changing lanes on a roundabout or a dual carriageway,
Yeah.
and you don't make good use of all of your mirrors.
Yeah. Definitely.
Next one, incorrect positioning at junctions, including roundabouts, particularly when turning right, because you've got to think how this could affect other road users.
Yeah.
These questions, Jasmine, very good, but they do need quite a long, detailed answer. I'm trying to skip through as quick as you can, but we'll elaborate when I see you, or I can do a separate video on that. Absolutely fine to do that. Use of speed.
Yes.
So we've got to bear in mind, speed limits are not targets. It's driving at the appropriate speed for the conditions that you've got.
Yeah.
So, you know, if the speed limit 30, 40, 50, whatever it is, we're only doing that speed if it is safe to do so. So this will come down to the road conditions, weather conditions, and the flow of traffic.
Yeah. You have to gauge it based on what's
So,
happening.
you know, if you're going down the A127 doing 50, and you're sitting on the back end of somebody, it's not really safe to do so when it's chucking it down the rain, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I was going to say two things as well. I think nerves is a big thing as well, because sometimes nerves can get the better of you. So try and do everything you can to stay relaxed during your
stay
driving
focused.
test and focus. And also, one thing that you said to me as well is that your driving test isn't over until you've parked up and you've turned the engine off and you're done with the test. So even if you're on your way back from the test, you have to remain completely focused. Don't think, oh, it's the end of the test, because it's not. Anything could happen in the, you know, in the last moment.
It's the end of the test when the examiner says, you know, please make your car safe and switch it off, and that is the end of the test, and I'm pleased to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so don't relax until, well, say don't relax, you'll try to relax through that whole test, but, you know, don't switch your mind off until the car is switched off.
Yeah. That's good actually, I like that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, then, next one. How can nervous drivers calm their anxiety before or during the driving test?
This is a difficult one because everybody's got their own makeup, haven't they? I would say, I think one thing to maybe help, I know it's difficult with the way the waiting times are, is to try and get a test in the morning. Reason being, if you're quite a nervous person with anxiety, for example, and you're sitting around waiting all day for me to turn up to take you for driving test, them nerves can build up. Whereby if you've got a morning test, you're up, breakfast, out and go.
Yeah.
Try to minimise the build up to the test.
Yeah.
Some people say, like you did, Steph, you ate a banana
Yeah.
because it releases some sort of, I don't know what it is,
I
some
don't know
sort
what
of
it
thing.
is, but I thought I wasn't taking it. I don't
Like
even like
energy.
bananas, but I thought I wasn't taking the chances. So just do anything that you think will calm you down, whether it's if you've got a later test, maybe relax, try and watch something not to do with driving.
Yeah, watch a bit of comedy or a film, just something.
Exactly.
Don't watch my videos or anybody's videos on driving where you're going to confuse yourself. Just like Steph said, relax from it.
Yeah.
Have a nice little bit of breakfast, bit of lunch, something light, not too heavy.
Yeah.
You don't want to get the food coma coming in.
Yeah. And even if it's something like that's a placebo effect, if it makes you feel better, like Rescue Remedy, if it makes you feel better, because sometimes it can trick your brain into thinking, oh, okay, I'm feeling calmer. Like I put a couple drops of it in my water when I went for my test, and although it probably didn't do much, it helped me feel calm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I feel better already. That's great.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
does it really help?
We
I
don't
don't know. So I'd say really
Yeah.
try not to. I know it's easy for me to say,
Yeah.
but like Steph said, you know, on the morning of your test, steer clear. But the night before, have an early night, have a good rest.
Yeah.
Watch a good film,
Definitely.
bit of a rom-com, bit of comedy,
Yeah.
anything other than driving.
Yeah. And then, next one from Yasmin. What's one thing learner drivers often overthink during lessons when they really shouldn't?
I think it's the whole thing. Yeah, but you can't single that out. But again, a good question. So, you know, I could say to you, right, that's a really good roundabout, that, Yasmin, but there's something in your brain saying, yeah, but I'm not happy with it. I don't think I've done that really, really well. You've got to give yourself that talking to and say, right, Dave, or if you're not with me, my instructors told me that I did that really, really well, so I've got to believe what Dave is saying. Because I can say that to you 1,000 times, but unless you believe me,
Yeah.
you know, your mind is going to go against you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think as well, you know, believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to think about, maybe think of it this way, it's not how far you've got to go to get to a driving test, it's how far you've come already.
Exactly.
You know, you've got, I'm not going to single you out, Yasmin, but, you know, you've come a long, long way, as Thomas and Rachel. You've all come a long way and worked your butts off to get where you are. So we're on the home straight. So, yeah, it's not how far you've got to go, it's how far you've come. Think about where you were, even like a few weeks or a few months ago. So, you know, write it down on a piece of paper. All the good things you're doing.
Yeah.
Some of the things which are not so good, and some of the little bits which are in between, which could do a bit of tweaking. Write it down and read over it again and again. Give yourself that little confidence talk, because what I can say to you 1,000 times, but you've got to get that mindset that what we say is correct. Hope that helps you. Just going to stop that for a second. Sorry guys, that's a very, very quick one. Steph just thought of something she would like to add onto the back of Yasmin's last question.
Yeah, so to carry on from the confidence thing, I think that to not overthink the decisions you make, especially if you're a bit further on in your learning journey, and you've got all the tools and you know what you need to do, but you still sort of second guess, because I was like that as well. And I think it's just to believe in the decision and trust your instincts, because most of the time they'll be absolutely correct, but you're just looking for I know I was looking for that extra reassurance.
Try and split it down into 2 words. Is it safe? Yes or no? Can I go? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. When you're sitting at a junction or roundabout, or whatever the case may be, and you're looking at a gap going, the vehicle that was quite a long way in the distance is now a lot closer to you, which is now going to affect your decision. So it's being positive. I would rather see you guys and girls go to make an emerge onto a roundabout or junction, and I have to stop you because you've made a wrong move. That is a positive to me, because we know what you're thinking and we can work on it. But if I'm telling you when to stop and go, it's me doing the decision making. So I would rather see you all make a wrong decision and we can work on it and put it right than no decision at all. So just believe in yourself and say it's yes or no, stop or go. Safe, unsafe. Hope that one helps. We've got to try and link this onto the other one now, so we should be able to do that. Right. Okie dokie, so next question.
Okay, so what's your best tip for mastering parallel parking or reversing manoeuvres?
Simple answer, speed. If we break any manoeuvre down into 3 elements, so we've got the control, which is the speed of the car, the steering, which is the accuracy, and observation, unless we get the speed right, we haven't got time to do the other 2. So I would say first and foremost, speed. Remember, all manoeuvres less than walking pace.
Yeah, I would second that. I would agree. And also I just say take your time and not try to be intimidated by other people that are waiting for you as well, because you can tend to panic. I mean, at least I used to panic and then sort of speed up. So that goes hand in hand with what you said about taking it slowly.
Yeah, and break it down so you don't have to do it in one big swoop.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can get yourself in position, stop, observation.
Yeah.
Do the first part of the manoeuvre, stop, observation. As you start to go into the parallel park position or the bay park,
Yeah.
you know, you can stop again.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't sit there for 5 minutes, but a quick temporary stop and look around, totally fine. So yeah, I'd
It's
say,
okay to adjust it, sorry, as well.
yeah, of course, as Steph said, it's okay to make an adjustment. As long as it's done safely and it's controlled, totally fine. So yeah, Yasmin, I'd say, first and foremost, speed.
Yes, definitely.
Ready again?
Right. How many lessons does the average learner really need before taking the test?
Impossible question, that one, because everybody is different.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot harder. I mean, as you all know, I've been doing this business for many, many years, since 1987. And, you know, driving on today's roads and the driving test has changed dramatically. So years ago, you'd probably look in 20, 25 hours
Yeah.
when I first started. Nowadays,
Slides.
it could be double, triple that. It's really, it's not the amount of lessons you've had or the amount of hours you've had or the amount of miles you've driven. It's
When you're ready.
it's when you're ready to drive completely independently.
Yeah.
That is the answer.
Because everyone learns at their own pace, don't they?
Yeah. So I can't say to someone, right, you are going to need 40 hours, 50 hours. Then 100 hours in, you're saying, Dave, you told me I needed 40 and 50.
Yeah.
Or I could say, you know, right, I think we're going to go 50 hours. But if you've got a car doing private practice and you're doing it correctly, then, someone trying to bring me, sorry, like that. It's actually still recording. Yeah, sorry about that, someone's trying to ring me at the most inappropriate time. So yeah, so where was we on that one?
Saying about everyone learns at their
It's
own
different.
pace. Yeah, everyone's different.
So it's the key thing, when you're driving completely independently without any help,
Yeah.
that is when you're ready. Because bear in mind, like Thomas said on his question
Yeah.
about, you know, when you first pass, about driving on your own.
Yeah.
So you've got to be able to do that comfortably.
Yes. And
So-
I was going to say as well, if you're not consistent with the lessons, it could also affect how many lessons you need. Because if you say you do like some for a month, because I stopped for almost a year, didn't I? And I had to restart.
Yeah.
So say you stop for a long time and then you start again, you're going to have to start from scratch effectively.
Yeah, I mean, you do find you're going to backtrack and there's bits
Yeah.
that you've remembered from before.
Yeah.
But I think with you, we did pretty much start
From the beginning.
from
yeah.
scratch. But that works out very, very nicely.
Yeah.
Because, you know, every instructor's got their own ways of teaching.
True.
So yeah, I think go with the flow, Yasmin. You know, sometimes you can hit a problem and it could take many hours to correct.
Yeah.
And it can take forever and a day. Oh my God, I'm never going to get there. Yeah, and I say, like we said before, be positive in your driving.
Yeah.
And don't, I know it's easy to go on a negative thing, but think about the positive things you're doing. Hope that answers that one. Next question.
Yeah. Right. What's the hardest part of being a driving instructor that most people don't realise?
General public. Honestly, I think, you know, you could think that you're having the worst lesson in the world, but I can take control of that quite nicely, and we can deal with it. But like I said on the previous question, drivers' attitudes have changed dramatically over the years. So I'd say nowadays we don't get the respect that, use the word loosely, that we deserve and that you deserve as a learner.
Yeah.
People tend to forget that they've passed their test and that's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say general public really, people's attitudes.
The consideration.
Yeah.
Lack of consideration for other people.
And I think what's changed as well is more so since COVID, where there's a lot of people wanting to go for driving tests just to give it a go. So they're going before they're ready and failing miserably. And that makes the waiting times even worse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because they're taking tests from people who are ready.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about the camera, but I'm trying to work out where we are. We actually reached the end of our route
Yeah.
already.
We were
So
walking so quickly because we were talking.
yeah, so I would say, again, Yasmin, good question, but I would say drivers' attitudes, I don't think it's just with driving. I think in general, people are less patient. these days.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why I decided not to wear my P plates on my car, because I feel like people see the P plates and they're actually meaner.
You stand there like a sore thumb, don't you?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. So, yeah.
So, yeah, there's that one. Right, let me just stop this a second. Right, so, okay, what's the next one?
So, if you could change one thing about how driving tests are done, what would it be?
I would say what I'd like to see brought back in, I don't think you're not going to like this. I would say years ago when I first started, before the theory test, at the end of the test you had to answer questions on the highway code and some road signs and questions on general driving. I would like to see that brought back in. Because what I'm finding is that people are passing the theory test, sometimes often just scraping through just to enable them to book a practical test. And then they don't continue with the studying once they've passed it, and they forget.
Yeah,
you know,
there's such a big gap between when you do your theory, isn't it, and when you...
You know, you could get somebody that's just passed their theory, just bring it around a little bit, and you ask them a question on the highway code, or you know, you ask them to read a road sign, and they haven't got a clue. So I'd say, yeah, I would like to see the highway code brought in addition to the theory test. I would say maybe less emphasis on the hazard perception. Maybe keep it in there, but maybe a few less videos, or keep it as it is, and maybe put 100 questions in, or 70. You know, because you've got to bear in mind, although in your theory there's 50 questions, there's a bank of over 1,000. So, all right, you might have got top marks on both, but there's still a lot that you need to know. So yeah, I would say, yeah, definitely do highway code at the end of the test. I would say maybe eliminate the emergency stop, which the DVSA are looking at anyway, because because cars nowadays have much more efficient braking systems with ABS. It's not as relevant as years ago when, if it was wet and damp, you had to control that car on a wet road without anti-lock brakes. So yeah, I would say maybe eliminate that to give us more time for the highway code at the end. And maybe, again, you're not going to like this as well, maybe make the driving test longer, maybe an hour. Because again, if you take on board what we've been talking about and being properly or overly prepared, another 20 minutes drive is not going to make a lot of difference.
That's true. To be fair, it's like half the length of a normal lesson.
What I think it will do is to stop all the chances going up. I've only got to do a little 40 minute drive. I'm going to try and wing it on that.
And they could get lucky.
Yeah.
Could get an easy route.
So, exactly, a little local route. So I think, again, you're not going to like it, but I'd say maybe make the drive a bit longer. So we've got two more from Yasmin. You worked hard on your questions, there's loads there. Much appreciated. Sorry about the wind noise, guys. You can't do much about that. I'm looking at maybe investing in a microphone. So that will come hopefully in the next couple of weeks. So.
Right, so the next one is, what are the most common bad habits new drivers pick up after passing?
I would say, right, there's a couple. First of all, speed. Just people just driving too fast, like we spoke about previously. Yeah, speed, I would say. Not driving according to the law. At the end of the day, you know, if you're doing 33 and 30, at the end of the day you're breaking the law, you're speeding. So yeah, I would say speed is one. Definitely peer pressure. So you know, you're in the car with a few friends and they're egging you to go faster. Or the next one, we come back to peer pressure in a sec. The next one is using phones. So you've got a friend in the car and they say, hey, why don't we ring so and so to come out for a drive? So they pick the phone up, bring their next friend up while driving.
That's so dangerous. The amount of people I've seen holding their phones, like I think hands-free is a lot safer, which I now have in my car. But if you don't have that, just wait or stop when you're safe. And,
is that call that important that you've got to make it then? So yeah, I'd say speed and phones, and peer pressure is how you get your friends egging you on. And you know, there's so many videos on YouTube where you know you see it in the local papers where youngsters. There's been so many fatalities and it saddens me. I've been in this business a long time, and if I've read about one of my pupils in the local paper I'd be absolutely mortified. It would just absolutely devastate me. So yeah, I would say that's the three things that I'd be saying to you.
Yeah.
Again, great question, Yasmin, thank you.
Yeah. And then last one from Yasmin. What's your top piece of advice for someone who's just got their licence and is driving alone for the first time?
Read all of the above. Yeah, and I would say, again, go out on your own,
Yeah.
but stay local.
Yeah.
Get the feel of your new car, leave your phone alone, and stick to what you've learned. I'd say, you know, even doing basic left and right corners, that's for a little while. Get the feel of your car and how it performs, how the brakes working, because they will feel different to my car.
Yeah.
And again, don't let people pressure you into making a bad decision.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing that I did when I passed and I'd sorted out my insurance, I literally just went for a little drive up and down through my neighbourhood,
Yeah.
didn't I? Yeah. And that got me used to it. But then I threw myself into it, and then the next day I had work, so I drove by myself into work. So I think also just sort of not wasting too much time and sort of fretting about what it's going to be for the first drive, and just sort of do it. Just even if it's a little 2-minute drive, just, you know.
Yeah, but I would say, so that's a good point, Steph. Right, you've got a 2-minute drive. Make it a 5-minute drive.
Yeah.
Give yourself double the time to do what you've got to do, to go where you're going. Yeah, and if you feel you're getting a little bit overwhelmed, then pull up, have a breather, a little drink of water. But say, don't be pressurised. You're going to go at your own pace, and your confidence will soon rise. And it won't be long before you see all of yous driving around in your own cars.
Yeah.
So I think, is that the end of Yasmin's questions?
Yes, thank you, Yasmin.
Yeah, so if you want a bit more info on these answers, we'll go through it on your lesson, or you know, send me a message and me and Steph will go a bit deeper for you. But so because of the length of the video, we've got to cut it a little bit short.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to come on to Rachel now.
Right, so first question from Rachel. What's your advice for someone who has just failed their first driving test and is lacking some confidence?
Pick yourself up, dust yourself down and carry on. Honestly, you know, you're going to dwell on it, you're going to be a little bit peeved with yourself, a bit annoyed. But I would say it comes back to previous questions, go overly prepared so you know you're able to deal with it. In my world, this is how I think. There's two types of foul. So the first one comes back again what we were saying earlier, where people go for tests when they're clearly not ready.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know, and your marking sheet is a bit like going with noughts and crosses, which is why I like to see some changes made. And the second foul is where it's an incidental thing. So think about what happened on your test with that guy on the roundabout.
Yeah,
that could have gone either way, but the way you dealt with it was fantastic, and you carried on. So there is an incidental thing. So you were still prepared, but on that day, because of that one person's ignorance on the roundabout, it could have swayed it. So
you can't control what other people are going to do.
yeah, and what I would have said to Steph, if it had gone the wrong way, I would have let her soak for a couple of hours. Then I would have said to her, come on, we're getting back in the car. Let's carry on. If you fall over, pick yourself up, dust yourself down. But what I will say, let's just say, for example, you failed on, this is just an example on a parking manoeuvre. When you're preparing for your next test, we're not just focusing on parking. Yes, we want to get it right and nail it. We would have done that before the first test anyway. But don't just focus on that one failure point, because the second test is a completely new test. So you need to focus on the whole thing. So, hope that answers that one.
Right, should we do the next one? So,
is that Rachel finished?
This is also Rachel as well. This is the last one. So, do you think it's better for someone who's just passed their test but feels nervous to go out alone for the first time, to go out with family/friends, or to try first on their own?
Right, my view, it comes back again to one of Rachel's questions, where peer pressure. I would say, maybe go out with mum or dad, or, you know, but at some point you've got to break that barrier and go on your own. So I would say, like I said to Yasmin, go out on your own, but stay local, get the feel of your car and gradually build your confidence up, because, you know, mum or dad could go out with you for a week, but at the end of that week you've still got to do it on your own. So I would say, yeah, go out straight away on your own, but stay local and don't let people pressurise you. P plates, I'm not a great fan, to be honest. It makes you stand out like a sore thumb.
Really, but I wore them for half a day, didn't I?
Yeah.
And then I decided against it. But I sort of set it up so that I would have to drive by myself the day after my test because I had work the next day. So I kind of forced myself into it.
Yeah, so if it makes you comfortable having P plates, then go fine. I'm not going to tell you what to do, so what makes you feel comfortable, but
Yeah.
I would say I wouldn't recommend. But yeah, just give yourself twice the amount of time to do that first drive. Even for the first couple of weeks, you're still going to be a new driver. Morning.
So that was a cute job there.
And gradually, you know, you'll find driving local,
Yeah.
then start to tackle little roundabouts, then bigger roundabouts, and gradually push that journey out that a little bit more.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I think to stick to where you're familiar to. Obviously, push yourself the more experience you get after you've passed. But I think for the first drive, definitely just stick to where you're familiar to and routes that you've maybe done on your lessons.
yeah, because you know, Thomas, Yasmin, and Rachel live in our area, which is Langdon Hills area. So it's quite a heavy. It's a dense. It's not dense. It's quite busy with faster flowing roundabouts and faster roads. So you've got to have the confidence to be able to drive on them.
Exactly.
So yeah. So hopefully that's answered that one. Yeah. So I think that's the end of Thomas's, Yasmin, and Rachel's videos. So thank you ever so much for taking the time out to give me those questions. If anybody else thinks of anything different, drop me a message. We might be able to do another one at a later date. So we have got another batch of questions which are aimed directly at me. So we're going to stop this one, have a little breather, and then we'll carry on. Cheers all. Have a great weekend.